Brevyn Spann-Ford is a tight end from Minnesota, a sixth-year senior who is admired as a leader on and off the field for the Gophers, and he is highly respected by his coaches. When he first started his journey in college as a freshman, he weighed in at 210 pounds. Over the next few years, he had a significant transformation, gaining an additional 50 pounds, a testament to his hard work, dedication, and commitment to his physical development. He was a multi-sport athlete coming out of high school, playing basketball, football, and baseball. He started as a wide receiver at St. Cloud Technical School during his freshman year, the first to do so in 30 years. He also received a basketball offer from North Dakota State, so Spann-Ford is known for his hard work. So that's saying a lot. The Dallas Cowboys have a plethora of tight ends coming out of the Big Ten. Players like Jake Ferguson, Peyton Hendershot, and Luke Schoonmaker, with Brevyn Spann-Ford now joining these athletes. Signing a solid contract as an undrafted rookie is always a good start, but entering the NFL, this will be a steep challenge for him. So let's see if this guy has what it takes, Cowboys Nation. So when you're taking a look at a guy like Brevyn Spann-Ford, a three-star recruit, a lot of things stand out. A freight train of an athlete who is 6'6", 260 pounds with an 80-inch wingspan. He needs to work on his technique, but his high energy and willingness to get his pads dirty shows promise. He has shown flashes of physicality, so that's always a good start, but there's still work to be done to get this player where he needs to be. So on this play here, it's great to be able to see tight ends acting as a security blanket for the quarterback. He didn't make a significant impact as a pass catcher in college, but it's encouraging to see him display the skill on the field. So it's going to be a quick outplay to the flash to Spann-Ford, and that left wide receiver, he's going to be running across the field to the hashes. The wide receiver on the opposite side, he's going to be running a post route. But the thing is, when you're looking at Mike McCarthy's type of offense, they want their tight ends to be able to get open quickly because that brings out a better Dak Prescott. And this is exactly what we need when it comes down to our tight ends on this play. So we'll go ahead and spin it. Zooming in on Spann-Ford, just watching this guy going out there and getting in the flats. And it's so good if you can be able to scheme these guys open. Having a tight end to have the ability to be able to make guys miss. One thing about Spann-Ford, though, he's not one of the guys that's really wiggly like a guy like Jake Ferguson or guys like Kelsey. But if you can have a guy that can be able to go out there, if you can get this guy open in space, he is 260 pounds. And a lot of these athletes in the NFL, you do not want to tackle a guy like him. But if you can be able to do things like this, he can be effective. And this was definitely a good rep for Spann-Ford. One thing I noticed about Brevyn on the field, he is not afraid to confront players. He's physical at the point of attack, and he likes to hit these guys. So it's going to be a pass to the left side to number 30. But when you see Brevyn, he's going to gain separation against these defenders. But by that time, number 30 had the ball, and he was able to lead the way. But just seeing the physicality from Brevyn, you like to see players that can be able to do this in open field, to go out there to be able to set the tone. And this was definitely good to see on film. So we'll go ahead and run it. So just watching these guys, they're getting off the ball. And you see number 30, he's going to the flats. And with Brevyn, he gets separation. And it's always good to be able to see this kind of stuff on film because there are questions about him being able to separate from defenders. He wasn't getting the ball. You see number 30, he got the pass. But zooming in on Brevyn, he's going out there and leading the way and completely depleting that defender. And these are the things you like to see, Cowboys Nation. The thing is, if he can be able to do this on a consistent basis, going out there and bringing that heat to these defenders, he doesn't have a problem just laying his body on guys that's athletic enough to be able to get down to the second level. And you can go out there in open field. These type of plays here can be able to keep the playbook open. And this is one of those reps that was fireworks, Cowboys Nation. Here's another rep here of him being able to thump another player. He's shown it a lot on film. It makes it so much easier for a lot of these running backs. If you can be able to have a tight end that can consistently go out there and be physical, you will see these type of plays here with him in the highlights and the lowlights. So he's done this plenty of times. So seeing Spann-Ford as a player who can engage with the opposition is always good to see. One of the biggest issues I observed with Spann-Ford is his hand usage. He sometimes delays contact with defenders, which allows the players to easily disengage and close in on either the quarterback or the running back. This is something that he needs to address to be able to have success in the NFL. So he's going to be going up against that left end, but making sure that you're getting down to the technique things, you got to be careful because a lot of these NFL players, they are very, very strong. And if you can't be able to set your anchor, that these guys can be able to drive you all the way in the backfield, and sometimes it can be a big time play. And these athletes in the NFL, they have the strength to be able to drive you all the way into the backfield and create a turnover. And this is what you don't need when it comes down to the tight end position. So let's run it. So just watching Spann-Ford going out there in pass pro and watching this defensive end bull rush him. And the thing is, these defensive ends in the league, they have the ability to be able to shock you at the line of scrimmage if you are not ready. All it takes is half a second. And these guys, I mean, they're driving their legs back, they're off balance, and they have the leverage to be able to close in, disengage, and get to the quarterback. And the thing is, when you're a defensive end and you can get there in a half a second, these quarterbacks, they do not know you're coming. And this guy fumbled the ball. And that's all it takes when it comes down to being able to flip momentum. You do not want things like this to happen. He did try to tackle him, but he ended up missing. So it was two things that he did that was bad on his rep. Got to make sure that you be on top of it, because if you're going to see the field, making sure that you can be able to use your hands properly, setting your anchor, and doing the little things. A lot of these guys are going to be a lot more stronger than him. If he can be able to get down to the basics, these type of plays won't happen. Here's another play where the defender gets away from Spann-Ford. It's crucial being able to examine not just the successful plays, but also the ones that didn't go as planned. Much like a coach would do, I do believe he will improve, but it is very important to show y'all honest analysis on the JC network rather than just a highlight reel, because you guys deserve to see the truth. So let's run it. So just watching Spann-Ford, he's using his hands pretty well right here. The thing is, if you can be able to put your hands inside, you want to be able to lock in. Don't allow this guy to be able to gain leverage. But zooming in on the defender, he was able to disengage. And if they can be able to get away quickly, they can be able to close in on a running back. And a lot of these times, you can be able to cause a fumble against the ball carrier. So you want to be able to continue to clamp down. Do not allow the opposition to get away from you, because if he can be able to hit a guy on his side like that, those are the type of plays that we see on highlight reels. So you want to make sure that you're physical, lock in with your hands inside, and don't allow this guy to be able to get away from you. Here's another play of the defender being able to get away from Brevyn. And the thing is, he does lock on a lot of these guys. And with these defenders, they want your hands on the outside, because that gives them the ability to be able to use a quick rip. And that's exactly what he did. He didn't get the sack on his play, but he ended up touching the quarterback. And a lot of these times, this is how quarterbacks end up getting hurt. So you want to be able to use your hands well. Don't allow these guys to get their hands in the inside, because you do not want them to be able to get to your quarterback. So there is going to be work when it comes down to this guy's hands. I've shown y'all plays of him being physical and running into these players. But the thing is, when it's time for you to be able to use your hands, he does make mistakes. But having Mike McCarthy, the tight end coach, the offensive line coach, a lot of these guys that can really help him and get down to the basic fundamentals, I think that he will be ready to roll. Good plays and bad plays. We had to show y'all and keep this even Steven. The good thing about Brevyn Spann-Ford, you like these athletes to be able to play multiple sports. So if you got a guy that used to play basketball, you know that this guy can be able to jump. And he's shown that he has the ability to be able to catch the 50-50 ball. And this is the kind of things that Dak Prescott needs. If you can become reliable in the most important parts of the games, this is how you can be able to separate yourself against the rest of the tight ends. So on this play, it's going to be a corner route to Spann-Ford. And this type of route is what I seen last year from the Dallas Cowboys. You will see a lot of single high safety with the middle field closed, going out there and stressing out that safety with that outside wide receiver running the post. So it's good to see the athleticism from Spann-Ford and going out there and making a big catch. So we'll go ahead and run it. So just watching Spann-Ford, he's running that corner route, that outside wide receiver, he's running that post. But the thing is, whenever you can be able to have a tight end that can be able to catch 50-50 balls and be athletic, it's good to be able to see these type of plays, because with Dak Prescott, there will be plays where nobody's open. And if you can be able to rely on a guy to be able to catch a 50-50 ball and get a first down, this energy right here can be able to get everybody going on the entire offense. And these plays matter, Cowboys Nation. So seeing a guy that can be athletic, jump and catch 50-50 balls, this is how you can be able to make a difference come Sundays. So looking at that last play, he does have the athleticism to be able to jump and catch 50-50 balls from time to time, but he does have some drops as well. He had 9 drops this past season, and he has had twice as many drops, 14, as he did touchdowns, 7 in his entire career. So watching this play here, they're motioning to the left side, and he's running a slant on the right side. So he dropped the ball here. You want to make sure that you can be able to secure the ball. If you got to get out there and get on a jug machine, doing the little things to be able to gain the quarterback's trust, it is very important, because you don't want to have a situation where you're in a pivotal point of the game and you're dropping the ball like this. This can be able to hurt the team. So staying consistent with it, going out there and catching the ball. With these blocking tight ends, they still have routes that they have to run. And if their name is called, they got to go out there and execute. So there is work to do when it comes down to this player. He has shown some good things. He's shown some bad things, putting himself in position, locking in and staying focused. This is how this player is going to be able to take that next step. this final play here, you like to be able to see a guy that can be able to get chunk yardage and score a touchdown. And the thing is, he's going to be the guy that's going to be running the slant. That outside wide receiver, he's going to be running a post route. But when you see that opening right here and that lone safety that's deep, whenever you can be able to scheme these tight ends open and force a guy this size one-on-one in open field, this is how you can be able to get quick touchdowns, and it's great to see. So we'll go ahead and run it. So he's motioning to the left. These guys are getting off the ball. I like to be able to see this. I mean, because they schemed this guy wide open, just forcing this safety to go one-on-one against this guy. And a lot of these tight ends in the NFL, if they can be able to get open in space, they're slippery enough to be able to score that touchdown, and he finished. So it's good to be able to see these type of plays, Cowboys Nation. And if he can be able to do this on a consistent basis, when he sees the field, this can open up things for CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, a lot of those guys on the offense. Just having another threat that can go out there and get it done. And there are definitely good things to see when it comes down to Spann-Ford. So with a guy like Brevyn, it's going to be a grind when it comes down to this player. He is not the perfect athlete. We all know that he was undrafted, but I wanted to come in here and show y'all the good plays. I wanted to show y'all the bad plays because it's extremely important to do so. Not overly hyping this guy, show y'all what this guy needs to work on. But when it comes down to these coaches, the offensive line coaches, the tight end coaches, they have the ability to be able to get these guys where they need to be. Being physical, I like to see this guy going out there and thumping players. He has good athleticism, but there are questions about his hand usage. There are questions about his drops. So things like that he needs to clean up if this guy's going to go out there and make a difference come training camp. So it's going to be good to see how it all plays out because Jake Ferguson, guys like Peyton Hendershot, you got guys like Stevens, as well as guys like Luke Schoonmaker. They're going to be battling it out when it comes down to this season. So I'm definitely excited to see how it plays out with a guy like Brevyn Spann-Ford. So comment below and let me know what y'all think about this player and if this guy can be able to take that next step year one. So make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe and hit that notification bell because the way the YouTube algorithm works, if you don't hit it, you'll miss on fire live streams and the best Cowboys film sessions on YouTube. All right, Cowboys Nation. Talk to y'all soon. Gone.